Hey bookworms, and welcome back to Bookcast. You ever get that feeling like you're like on a hamster wheel and it just says not enough on it? Like you're running and running, you get the promotion, you bought the fancy car, you finally get those six-pack abs you've always wanted, but like that feeling of like true contentment, it's still missing.
It's missing.
It's like we're all just drowning in what I like to call hustle porn.
Ooh, I like that phrase.
Right.
I like that.
Constantly bombarded with these images of everybody else just crushing it.
Yeah.
While we're over here just like struggling to keep up.
Yeah, it's that constant pressure to achieve and acquire and prove our worth, you know?
Yes. Well, today we are diving deep into Steven Bartlett's Happy, Sexy Millionaire.
Yes.
To like uncover different path. And yes, we're aiming to unlock the secret to genuine happiness and success in under 10 minutes. So think of this as your cheat sheet.
I love it.
To ditch the hamster wheel and actually enjoy the ride for once.
I think Bartlett gives us the tools to do that.
I think so too. First things first, Bartlett is not some out-of-touch guru preaching from like an ivory tower or something. This guy built a multi-million-dollar social media empire.
He did.
By his early 20s.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So he has lived the hustle porn life.
Right.
He's tasted the supposed success.
Yeah.
And realized it's not all it's cracked up to be.
It's not, and that's what makes his perspective so valuable. He's speaking from experience. He's not just like spouting some theories.
Exactly. So Bartlett really calls out this feeling of not enough as like a sort of societal brainwashing.
No, totally.
Think about it. From the moment we're born, it's like we're being programmed to chase external validation. Corporations tell us we need their products to be happy.
Yes.
Schools push us to climb the academic ladder, snag that prestigious degree.
Of course, yeah. And then social media enters the picture.
Ugh, don't even.
Right. It's like this highlight reel of everyone's seemingly perfect lives, making us feel inadequate in comparison.
Social media. Ugh, don't even get me started. I remember one day I was scrolling through Instagram. I saw this influencer lounging on a private yacht.
Yeah.
And instantly spiraled.
Yeah.
Into like a pit of self-doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why am I stuck in traffic? When they're out there sipping cocktails in the Bahamas. It's ridiculous.
It's the comparison trap. It's so easy to fall into, especially with those curated images of success and happiness.
So how do we break free from this not enough programming?
Right.
Well, Bartlett offers this really powerful anecdote about his friend and business partner. So these guys were living the high life, like the epitome of external success.
They were killing it.
But behind the facade, Dominic was battling alcoholism. And one night, Bartlett found him passed out.
Wow. So that was like a wake-up call, a big one for Bartlett, forcing him to confront the dark side of that hustle culture and realize that true success is not about the wealth or the achievements, but the quality of your relationships and your well-being.
That's so true. It's like a sobering reminder that chasing external validation can come at a steep price.
It does. Yeah.
You know, we sacrifice our health, our relationships, ultimately our happiness.
Absolutely.
So what's the alternative? Bartlett argues that true contentment comes from finding your meaning. Identifying what truly matters to you, not what society dictates.
It dictates your values.
Yes, I love that. It's about ditching the shoulds.
Yeah.
And embracing the wants.
I like that.
But how do we actually do that? How do we put that into practice? Well, Bartlett suggests identifying one thing you value above all else. Your non-negotiables and making decisions that support that core value.
It becomes your compass, your guiding principle.
It's so powerful. This is where things get really interesting. So Bartlett dives into the difference between internal and external motivation. He argues that people driven by internal passions and interests are far happier than those chasing external rewards like money or fame. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how a hobby can lose its magic?
Yes.
When it becomes your job.
There's a psychological principle called the overcompensation effect that explains that. It's when we start receiving external rewards for activities we intrinsically enjoy. It actually diminishes our enjoyment.
It's like our passion gets diluted by the pursuit of external validation. So it's not about the paycheck or the accolades. It's about finding that thing that lights you up from the inside and pursuing it with genuine enthusiasm. And speaking of pursuing your passion, Bartlett did something pretty radical. He quit Social Chain at the height of his success.
He recognized that it no longer aligned with his values and goals.
Wow. Quitting a multi-million-dollar empire, that takes guts.
It does.
It's a powerful example of prioritizing internal fulfillment over external pressures.
Yes.
But Let's be real for a second.
Yeah.
Achieving our dreams, finding that happy, sexy millionaire life requires more than just passion.
Absolutely. It takes consistent effort and a willingness to embrace the journey. He's a big believer in the power of consistency.
Okay.
And he's not talking about some intense, unsustainable burst of effort. It's about showing up day after day, making small, but meaningful strides towards your goals. So
ditch the get-rich-quick schemes. Overnight success fantasies. It's about playing the long game, staying committed to your vision, even when progress seems slow.
Exactly.
I imagine Bartlett's pretty good at navigating challenges, considering he built this whole business empire from scratch.
Yeah, he's faced his share of setbacks and crises.
Oh, yeah.
Like the time his company got hacked.
Oh, no.
But what's fascinating is how he handled it.
Okay.
Instead of panicking, he stayed calm, assessed the situation, and took proactive steps to recover.
So when things go sideways, and they inevitably will.
They do.
It's about staying level-headed, focusing on solutions.
Yes.
No drama, just action.
Exactly.
Did he have any other tips for making decisions?
He's a big proponent of rational decision-making, especially in those high-stress situations, because he believes that emotions can cloud our judgment.
That makes sense.
Leading to impulsive actions that we later regret.
Yeah, when things get chaotic, it's so easy to just let fear or frustration drive the wheel.
Right.
But how do we stay rational when everything's going haywire?
He recommends taking a step back,
detaching
from the emotional turmoil, and objectively evaluating the situation. Asking yourself, what are the facts? What are the potential solutions? What are the likely consequences of each choice?
So it's about thinking clearly and strategically instead of letting our emotions run wild.
Exactly.
That reminds me of something else Bartlett emphasizes. Taking responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
He seems to be pretty allergic.
He is.
To the blame game.
Yeah, Bartlett believes that blaming others keeps us stuck in a victim mentality. It prevents us from learning and growing. It's tempting to point fingers when things go wrong.
It is.
But it ultimately disempowers us.
He shares this anecdote about an employee who constantly blamed a client for late payments. But it turned out the employee wasn't even putting due dates on the invoices.
Classic example of avoiding responsibility.
So how do we shift from blame to ownership?
He suggests asking yourself, what role did I play in this situation? What could I have done differently? What can I learn from this experience?
It's about acknowledging our part.
Yes.
Even if it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's not about dwelling on mistakes.
Right.
But extracting those valuable lessons and using those insights to improve.
I like that.
Okay, this next part really resonated with me. The power of challenging labels.
Ooh, interesting.
It's so easy to fall into the trap of accepting labels that others place on us.
It is.
You're the creative type. You're not good with numbers. You're not a leader.
Right. Those labels can become self-fulfilling prophecies.
It's like we get put in these boxes and we start to believe that's all we can be.
Exactly.
Bartlett tells this amazing story about hiring a marketing director who didn't exactly have the most impressive resume.
Okay.
The guy was living with his mom, spending his days playing video games.
Sounds like me.
But Bartlett saw something in him, like a spark of potential, that transcended the surface-level labels.
Interesting.
And guess what? That unimpressive candidate ended up being instrumental in building social change into a massive success.
So it's a good reminder to question those limiting labels.
Yeah,
look beyond the surface.
It's about recognizing that potential often hides in unexpected places.
Yeah.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. We talked about finding our meaning, consistency, rational decision-making, taking responsibility, and challenging labels. I feel like we're still missing the crucial piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
It's great to have a clear vision, but how do we actually make it happen? How do we translate those aspirations into concrete actions?
That's where time mastery comes in. Bartlett sees time as our most precious resource.
Okay.
It's non-renewable. It's finite. We can't create more of it. Right.
So it becomes a question of how do we maximize the time we have and align it with our goals?
Okay, this is hitting home for me. I am a chronic yes person. Always overcommitting, feeling like I'm running on fumes.
Yeah.
Any tips for prioritizing effectively, actually gaining control of my schedule?
Well, Bartlett's all about making conscious decisions with your time. View your schedule not as a passive recipient of demands, but as a reflection of your values and priorities.
Okay.
It's about making choices, sometimes difficult ones, about what we say yes to, and more importantly, what we say no to.
So it's not just about managing time, it's about managing our energy. and our attention.
Exactly.
It's about making sure that our actions are congruent with our goals, our values.
And that ties back to that feeling of not enough if we're constantly scattering our energy in a million different directions. We're never fully present, never fully invested in what matters.
Right. This is all great in theory, but let's be real. Life throws curveballs.
It does.
Things get stressful. Deadlines loom. That sense of overwhelm creeps back in. Yeah, how do we stay grounded amidst the chaos?
Right.
Well, Bartlett's a big advocate for gratitude.
Yep.
He actually journals twice a day, listing things he's grateful for.
I've heard about gratitude journaling, but I always thought it was a little woo-woo. How does it actually work?
It's about shifting our focus
from
what we lack to what we have. By intentionally acknowledging the good, we cultivate a sense of appreciation, abundance. It's like training our minds to see the positive, even amidst the challenges.
You know what? I'm actually feeling pretty grateful right now, just thinking about all these insights. From Happy Sexy Millionaire.
Yeah.
It's given me a whole new perspective on success and happiness. I'm even grateful for this delicious cup of coffee.
There you go.
Simple pleasures.
Simple pleasures, exactly.
Gratitude doesn't have to be about grand gestures. It's about appreciating those everyday moments, the small things.
Yes.
So there you have it, bookworms. The key takeaways from Happy Sexy Millionaire. Ditch the hustle porn mentality and define success on your own terms. Identify what truly matters to you. Let that be your guiding star. Align your actions with your values. Take responsibility and embrace the journey.
Beautiful.
Remember, consistency is key. Small, consistent actions aligned with your goals will lead to extraordinary results over time.
Absolutely.
If you're ready to ditch the hamster wheel and create a life that feels genuinely fulfilling, I highly recommend checking out Happy Sexy Millionaire.
It's a good one.
It's packed with practical advice, inspiring stories that will challenge your assumptions and empower you to design a life you love.
It's a roadmap to becoming the happy, sexy millionaire you are meant to be.
On your own terms.
On your own terms, of course.
Huge thanks to our amazing expert.
It's been a pleasure.
Bookworms, we want to hear from you. What are your biggest takeaways? From Happy Sexy Millionaire, what resonated with you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you have any suggestions for future Bookcast videos, we're all ears. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more bookish goodness. Until next time, keep reading and keep growing.